Let's see how to draw a pumpkin in the style of the famous artist Romero Britto. First, we are going to start by writing our name and class code on the back of our paper with a pencil. Then you can flip your paper over and we are going to find the middle of our paper first. The best way to do this is to fold our paper in half hamburger style. That means you're going to take the two shorter sides and have them meet together when you fold. After, you can open up your paper and the crease will be where the middle of your paper is. Next, we are going to begin our pumpkin drawing using an oval tracer for the middle. You should place your tracer on top of where the crease is on your paper. Leave a little more space above the top of the oval so you have room to draw a stem for your pumpkin. Trace your oval carefully with pencil, using your other hand to help you hold the tracer in place. Now, we are going to draw different sections of the pumpkin using curved lines. We are going to draw curves from the top of the oval shape to the bottom. First, draw a long, skinny C shape on the left side of your oval. Then draw a long, skinny, backwards C shape on the right side of your oval. You can practice with your finger where you're going to draw your lines first. Remember to draw lightly with your pencil in case you need to erase anything. You're going to do this 2 more times on each side. Start at the top of the pumpkin and draw a letter C shape on the left, and then on the right side draw a backwards C shape. Then, let's repeat those steps 1 more time on each side. After your pumpkin shape is finished, let's work on drawing the stem. At the top of your pumpkin shape, draw 2 short vertical lines that curve out a bit. Draw a line that curves slightly downward to connect them at the top. After, draw a line that curves slightly upward to finish the top of the stem shape. One thing you can choose to add to your drawing is a vine coming out of your stem shape. For mine, I'm going to use a loopy line and draw a leaf on it. The leaf is like a lemon or football shape using 2 curved lines. Next, let's work on our background. For this step, you will need a ruler to draw straight lines. We are going to break up our background into different sections, which later we will add a variety of patterns and colors to, like the famous artist Romero Britto. You should draw about 10 lines in your background area, but no more than 12. If you draw too many lines, it will take you a really long time to finish this project. For mine, I have 11 lines in my background area. A diagonal line is a straight line that goes at an angle. A vertical line is a straight line that goes up and down, and a horizontal line is a straight line that goes across. Also, remember to count how many lines you have. You don't want to draw too many. Your number should be somewhere between 10 to 12 lines. After you draw your lines in the background, the next thing we're going to do is outline all of our pencil lines with a big Sharpie. We are going to outline the pumpkin and the background lines because Romero Britto always has bold black lines that outline his shapes in his artwork. We are going to use a chisel tip style Sharpie. With these types of markers, you can get a thick and thin line out of them by the way you use them. If you draw with the thicker side of the marker tip, you will get a thicker line. If you use the point of the marker tip, you will get a thinner line. For most of our lines, we are going to try to use the thicker side of the marker to get a nice bold line. If you drew a vine and leaf on your stem, you can use the point of the marker to make a thinner outline. Remember, when you're outlining, it is important to go slowly and take your time to make your work look your very best. Going to speed up my video here, so remember, I can't really outline this fast, it's just my video. Now, since I chose to draw a vine and leaf on my stem, I'm going to outline this part with the point of my Sharpie to get a thinner line. After all your pencil lines are outlined, we are going to work on drawing patterns like we saw in Romero Britto's work. First, start by drawing patterns in each section of your pumpkin. Remember, a pattern is a repeated shape or line. You can use this example packet of pattern ideas or come up with your own creative patterns. For this, we are going to switch from using the big Sharpie to the regular sized Sharpie. When you choose a pattern for a section, you should repeat that pattern until you fill up the entire section. Like here, I am going to draw zigzag lines in this entire section. You can draw your patterns directly with a Sharpie, but remember that Sharpie is a permanent marker and we cannot erase it, so think carefully about what pattern you want to draw in each section. When you're drawing patterns, think about using both shapes and lines and using something called contrast. Contrast means when you make something stand out in your artwork. Notice how I have some patterns with shapes that are colored in black and how they really stand out. That is using contrast. I'm going to draw dots in this section. When you're drawing a shape, you can draw a part of the shape on the edge of the section to make it look like the pattern continues where we can't see it. Like here, I'm drawing half of a dot since I am drawing it close to the edge. This will add more interest and variety in my artwork. Now I have one more section to fill with patterns in my pumpkin. Since I drew dashed lines in this section, I'm going to draw another shape that is colored in black next to it to show contrast. I'm going to draw triangles in this section here. You should also draw a pattern in your stem shape. For mine, I'm drawing slightly curved horizontal lines. Then on the top, I'm drawing short vertical lines. But remember that you are the artist and you can choose any patterns that you like to draw. After your pumpkin is filled with patterns, then we are going to move on to the sections in the background. For the background sections, you need to draw patterns in at least half of your sections. For example, I have 11 sections here. I'm going to draw patterns in about 6 of my sections. Think of it as every other section should have a pattern. Sections that do not have a pattern will end up being filled with a solid color later. For my first background section, I'm going to draw spiral lines. Remember, when you choose a pattern for a section, you should repeat that design until you fill up the entire space. I'm going to continue drawing patterns in at least half of the sections in my background. Alright, so it looks like I'm all finished drawing my patterns for my pumpkin. Remember, you should have patterns in each section of your pumpkin and at least in half of the sections of your background. I hope you had fun creating a pumpkin in the style of the famous artist Romero Britto. I can't wait to see how yours turns out.